Hey guys, this is Late Boy Scout. I'm here at about 11,700 feet today to try out, test out the Vanquest Trident 20 backpack, which is a pretty nice day pack built for a lot of really great uses. I'm going to tell you more about this backpack today. Stick around. So the Trident 20 by Vanquest is going to be a great bag for a whole lot of different uses. I'll talk about some of those briefly, and then as I discuss all the different features of the bag, I'll try to get into how it works for all those in more detail. One of the first roles I see this fitting into is that of a day pack. Something kind of small that you would bring limited gear in for whether it be a short hike or a long hike, but one where you don't expect to spend the night somewhere. Another role, an EDC pack. Something that you would put your laptop into and all those EDC items that you would like to keep with you on a daily basis. It would fit all that stuff really well. It's exactly the right size, and I'll explain how and why as I get into more of the review. It would also work extremely well as a camera bag. It's got a lot of great features that make it an excellent choice for a photographer or a videographer like myself. Another obvious role that this bag fits into is that of a tactical or soldier bag. Something where it needs to be extremely durable. It is Cordura nylon 1000D, so it's going to be very, very tough for some of the harshest environments and some of the harshest uses. So definitely it could be a good tactical bag. And lastly, I think it would make a great get-home bag. Something that you would put all your really essential items into so that if you needed to, you could foot it home or foot it from wherever you are to wherever you need to go and have all that stuff with you in one bag in one place. It would definitely be a great get-home bag. Now the Trident 20 is actually an evolution of another Vanquest design. It's based on the Javelin V-Slinger backpack, which was actually just had one strap across it, I think. Sort of came like this. It's very much in competition with items from Maxpedition, which are also very good, but I would say that in a lot of ways, Vanquest is kind of out Maxpeditioning Maxpedition, to coin the phrase of some other YouTubers who have reviewed some of these bags already. They are really doing a great job with these bags. They are extremely well put together, extremely well done. So let's get into some more of these features. Just to read off some specs from the website, this pack comes in at about 20 liters of total capacity. It weighs about 3 pounds, 1 ounce. The interior size is about 18 inches high, 10.5 inches wide, and 5 inches deep that way. The exterior size is just a little bigger than that. The top front pocket size, which would be this one right here, is about 4 inches high, about 9 inches wide, and roughly 2 inches deep, if you look at it this way. The bottom front admin pocket, which is this area right here, this whole section, that is about 11 inches high, 9 inches wide, and 2 inches deep. The bottom front zipper pocket, which is this zipper pocket right here, comes in at about 10 inches high and about 9 inches wide, and it is flush with the bag, so it's not really a deep pocket by any means. There's a side admin pouch right over here, about 10 inches high by about 4 inches wide. Man, a lot of good space in there. It's also got the padded main compartment, which I'll show you right now. This whole area right here is the main compartment. I'll talk about this funky zipper situation right here in a little bit, but it's actually quite well thought out. I like what they've done with it. So what we have there is a main compartment that, like I said before, is pretty spacious, and you can fit a laptop in, probably back behind this area right here. You can see that there's this kind of flap right here. That is padded. What I'm squishing right here, that's a little bit padded. And then this side also is very nicely padded. So the laptop you would fit in here would probably be like a 15-inch wide laptop. I have a MacBook Pro that I use for work. It fits in there kind of tight, but it fits. It also comes with these 3 padded dividers. And this goes back to the point I made earlier about it being great for photography. Let's say you have several lenses you want to keep in here, or several camera bodies, or several sections of different types of camera equipment that you want to keep safe and well padded, well protected. This is an excellent way to store it. It has this strap right here, which actually is kind of a belt strap. It attaches to this area right here. There are the shoulder straps, obviously, but this area, this padded area on the back, has this sort of opening right here with a little bit of Velcro hook on the inside, on this side right here. And that interacts with the Velcro loop on this section of the pad, or on this section of the belt. And you would feed that through there, and then you would have a belt to wear with your pack. Now, I didn't feel like that was a necessary part of the pack, at least not for the uses that I was going to put it through. So I just took it right off and put it in storage. Back to the padded compartments on the inside, I want to point out that these are completely movable or removable. You can undo them by way of the Velcro areas. There is this Velcro loop on the inside here and up here. And so you can tear that off and move that up a little further if you want a better, kind of a wider space for this particular section. Or if you don't want any section up there at all, pull the entire padded piece out and just let it go. So, and you can do that with all three of them if you just want to have one giant compartment in there, and that would work very, very well. I talked about the laptop area right here. That is also a great place for putting hydration, for making this a day pack. According to Vanquest, you can put two 70-ounce water bladders in here, one in this area right here, and one in actually the CCW compartment, which is right back here on the back of the pack. You would zip this area open, and then that opens up wide. You could slip a second hydration bladder in there. And that's actually got some Velcro loop as well for you to mount things like little holsters and whatnot, to use that for CCW. So again, that's a great little compartment. And that does have a kind of a hardened plastic thing kind of sewn into this back right here to make it so that you don't necessarily feel that gun or whatever you might have in there. And also it doesn't print so much on the back of there. It just feels like one long big panel. But it's soft enough that it's comfortable. It's not going to be an uncomfortable kind of a hard back there. So it's well done. A few more notes on the interior. We have a section right here on this flap that opens up. There are hidden flaps everywhere on this bag, you guys. It's really amazing. That opens up there. You can fit a number of things in here. It could be some cables, it could be some energy bars, it could be any number of things to slip into there. Then also all of this back here opens up so that you can have a couple dividers there. One in this area for papers, who knows what else, and one up here as well. Okay? So the possibilities are really pretty endless about how you would use this bag. Again, it is extremely versatile because of all the expandability and because of all the ways that you can separate and use it for different types of gear. Very, very brilliant. Again, this is one of the ways in which Vanquest is, one-upping Maxpedition, and good for them. Somebody needs to do it. Maxpedition, they make excellent stuff, but again, they need some competition, and Vanquest is really bringing it. Now, I did talk about the hydration feature and where you would put hydration. You would feed your hose through one of these holes right here. There's one there, and there's one on the opposite side coming through right here. So regardless of whether you want that on your left side or your right side, you can have that hydration and be totally comfortable. So I've shown you all the main compartment, I think. I wanted to talk about the reason why this zipper on the outside is kind of zigzagging the way it is, or at least from my perspective, why I believe it does this. It kind of has this jog where it kind of comes up like that. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you first think about it, but consider this. If you want this to be a top-loading bag, would it be a pain if that zipper was always opening all the way down the whole body of the bag? Yeah, I think it kind of would be. So if you want this as a top-loading bag, you want to have that option, guess what? The zippers, starting there at the top, you open them up, That one stops there. If you open them up, that one wants to stop there, right at the zigzag. See? So if you want this to be a top-loading bag, it's a top-loading bag, and it doesn't accidentally zip all the way down all the time. If you want to have it even more secure, you've got this snap right here, which will easily just come over here and then lock that zipper down. So that is a great security feature, whether it's for keeping your bag from coming undone all the way, or for keeping people getting into your bag who you don't want to get into your bag. That little snap can be quite convenient. Now, it kind of goes without saying that this thing is covered in MOLLE webbing. So you can expand it out here, you can expand it out here, you can expand it over here, okay? And there's ways to expand it other ways too. You've got these tabs, 1, 2, and 3 going up along the side on this side and on that side. What exactly they're intended to be used for, I'm not completely sure, but I can see them being used in a lot of ways. I could see you running some paracord through those, wrapping it all around the front of the pack and expanding that much, much bigger, adding a whole lot of things to this, really kind of pushing it out and carrying much more than this was probably ever intended to carry. And will it carry it? Yeah, I'd say that it would. It's very much built for it. 1000D Cordura nylon, if I didn't already say that. The straps, the shoulder straps are well padded and nice. There's a nice mesh on the inside of them to give it lots of breathability. That came in very handy on my recent Timpanogos hike where I used this pack. Yeah, I needed that kind of breathability on this pack, being able to switch it off or take it off for a little bit, let it air out, let that sweat kind of dry up a little bit. Definitely useful. I also like how angled that section is right there on both sides. Some other cool features. This little strap down here at the base makes it so that wherever you dropped this bag, wherever it's stowed or stored, you've got a way to grab onto it. Okay, so if that is, let's say, a bug out bag and it's stowed away in a section of your car that's really hard to get to or very difficult to reach, if you can get a hold of that tab, you can pull the entire bag out. Same goes with this top handle right here, which is wrapped in neoprene and very soft and comfortable. Really more made to be carried this way, but that's just another grab point, and it goes the entire length of the top, which is really cool. I didn't mention that those rings you saw on the side, right there, are also on the straps. So again, this thing is built for all kinds of load bearing. That's fantastic. That really lends itself to that tactical application, and definitely probably to a bug out application as well. Because who knows, you might need to carry far more than you ever planned on, and these may be the only shoulder straps you have. So you've got to attach everything you possibly can to this bag right here. And this bag can handle it. From an EDC standpoint, all of those pouches and zippers and openings and separate compartments I told you about are going to be fantastic. Whether this is going to be a school bag for carrying books and things like that, pencils, pens, different things that you would have for your classes. This bag has got it all. Pouches going everywhere, all right? And I love the high visibility interior here. What we have here is a ripstop nylon. It's a 210D lightweight ripstop nylon. And it's, gosh, I love how lightweight it is. I love how high vis it is, because regardless of your lighting situation, you may be in a dim area, but you've got to locate stuff in your bag and maybe you don't have a flashlight handy. So having a reflective, not reflective, but a high vis sort of contrasting material on the inside that helps you identify different compartments and things within your bag is going to be very, very helpful. So if you're going to have a color on the inside, something that's hidden from view anyway, might as well make it high visibility. I never thought of that, but gosh, Vanquest did. So there you go, guys. Also, lots of compartments in there for pens and various things like that. You've got a key fob right there. So if you want to keep your keys there, you certainly can. I believe there's a second key fob in here someplace. I don't remember where it is. There's the map of Timpanogos. I guess I don't need that here anymore. But that was something I kept there in that pouch. Obviously, there's plenty of room in this top pouch as well. I talked about the specs on them, but I haven't showed you the insides of them. We've got a little bit of storage right here. We've got some storage back there for separating papers, compasses, whistles, things like that. Battery compartments or whatever you might want to use for these. Maybe spare magazine compartments, things like that up here. Depending on the size of your gun, that could definitely be an option. But this whole upper compartment here is good for all kinds of things that you want to have at the ready and have kind of easily accessible. This bungee area out here on the top of that pouch is going to be great for carrying any number of things. You can have a backpack wedged in there, not a backpack, but a jacket wedged in there. You can have a tripod wedged in there if you're doing some photography or videography. And that works very, very well. I've done that with a tripod, probably heavier than you would ever expect to wedge through there and larger, but it carried it. It was very secure. I tightened that thing way, way down up there using that little compression lock, and it did a fantastic job of holding a tripod. Of course, it'll hold a number of other things through here. Wedge through there with your hiking poles or something like that. As you might expect on a bag like this, the zippers are all YKK, extremely durable. And you can see that this main compartment zipper actually has these two that meet up like this to turn into a locking compartment. You could actually zip tie that or put an actual padlock on there, maybe one of those little luggage locks. So if you want to, go through the airport with this or go travel with this and you are going to hand it off to somebody, you can secure it pretty nicely, at least that main compartment, by using that. This outside compartment actually has that as well. So you can secure more than a couple compartments, or more than one compartment at least, in that same way. And that is fantastic. If I didn't mention it before, you can see that there is some Velcro hoop area right here. So if you want to attach some morale patches, a flag, things like that to these areas, you can easily do that, personalize your pack, make it yours. On the side pouch right here is that other key fob I was looking for. And this would be a great place to, whether you're keeping keys or keeping cards, keeping various papers that are important, also pens, other things you want to have at the ready. Great little side pouch for all that type of stuff. And once again, nice and high vis in there so you can easily locate all the gear you need to get to. It's worth noting that you also have MOLLE strapping on the bottom of the pack, plus a couple more of those hoops going on right here to help you once again attach all kinds of things to this pack to make it extremely expandable. So if this is going to be a day pack, you could actually have things like a bedroll attached to that or various other things, whether it be a MOLLE attached piece of gear or just any other type of gear that you're attaching with paracord or some other ties. This is extremely expandable and I really love that aspect of it. So again, guys, there are a wide number of uses for a bag like this and it's going to be excellent. It's so many of them. It can be an excellent day hike pack. It's a little heavy at 3 pounds for carrying lightweight stuff, but it would be very, very durable for it, so it could be just what you need. It's going to be fantastic as an EDC bag, just carrying that stuff that you need on a regular basis, whether it be for school, or going to the office, or anything else like that. As a camera, photography, video bag, it's going to be outstanding. Carries so many things and separates it all so well. It would be excellent going to a trade show or something like that and having a ton of stuff at the ready, all separated and ready to use. This would be great for that. Then of course, any soldier, any police officer, anybody that needs to use a bag like this in a tactical scenario, I would have no hesitation about recommending it, just knowing how clearly durable it is. I put it through a little bit of testing, using it on the range, using it for some hikes. It takes a beating, it repels dirt, it repels water with that Teflon coated fabric. It's an extremely great bag, guys. Vanquest, as I said before, they're kind of one-upping Maxpedition here. So if you guys are in the market for a bag of this type, I highly recommend that you check out Vanquest. The work they're doing, the stuff they're putting out is exceptional. I'm Lay Boy Scout. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.